Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ninth round of Season 13 in Division 2. We are here in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. My name is Anila Phoenix 1. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. Unfortunately, I am alone. I don't have anyone joining me for this race. And it looks to be a dry qualifying. It is a bit cloudy. So we'll see if any of the drivers can give me weather report. Quali wet question mark from Gabri. Oh! The question mark tells me what's about to happen. The track is gonna get wet in the next, 5 minutes. So, we are about to see 16 cars immediately rush onto the track. And, okay, 10 minutes until rain, says Marco. So maybe 2 laps? We'll see. We do have a 2 qualifying bands for tonight's race, one of those being Marco Darko and the other one being Edwin. Edwin is actually still not in the lobby, I think. I'm not sure if he's practicing until the last possible moment or if he just can't join right now. But yeah, either way, he should be in soon. I would assume he's just not able to join right now because I haven't seen him online either, so... Yeah, if he was practicing, I'd be able to invite him. Wait, if I go to... He wasn't here earlier, but I'll check right now. Don't have any qualifying laps yet anyway, everyone is still on an out lap. There we go, he's online now. Perfect timing. So yeah, Sully, the first car who is gonna start a lap here. The target time that was set based on the one-shot qualifying in Division 1 was a 109.550. So, yeah, we'll see how many drivers can beat. I'm not entirely sure if that's a harsh or easy target time to be honest, because judging based off of one-shot qualifying is quite difficult. But yeah, with Sully, the first car on a lap now, down to 5th gear for turn 2, and now turn 3 gets the car in nicely. Bit careful in throttle, I would say, on the exit. Maybe, yeah, trying to just make sure that he gets this one lap in. A guarantee to at least be somewhere in the midfield, with the likelihood of rain coming soon. He slipped the tire on the grass through turn 6. That was not ideal at all. Turn 8, sorry. Turn 7. I can't actually count the corners. Turn 7 it was, where he did the tire on the grass, and that, of course, made him understeer massively. So a lot of time loss, I think, on this lap. Edwin is now in the lobby. Perfect timing. 15 minutes to go in qualifying, but with that rain coming in, the drivers are... yeah, the race against time here anyway. Those 15 minutes are not all gonna be useful. So he's on the 4th and now doesn't take the curb on the exit at all. And down to the line. What's the lap time gonna be for Sully? That's a 109.835. We've got a Red Bull right behind him. That would be Lucas, I think. Yeah, Lucas the only Red Bull on the field right now. 10.2. AlphaTauri following that. That'd be Pinky, 9.5. I've seen Aston Martin coming up to the line. Bazooka, 9.6. There's too many cars coming to the line. Sean, 9.313 into pole position for now. Kevin jumps into second, 9.431. We've got an Alfa Romeo at the back. That's the last car coming over the line here. That's Mihai, who jumps into third. 109.423 by Mihai. Hello. Right now, Kucho, our pole today, 109.226, followed by Sean, 109.313, then Mihai, 109.423, Kevin, 109.431 in 4th, Pinky in 5th, 109.505, and it started raining. It started raining. Gabri in 6th, 109.524, Bazooka in 7th, 109.689. Let's check. Ewek is about to finish a lap. How far up the field can he go? That's a 110.116 into 9th. JM is on an out lap. Marcelio hasn't gone out yet. They've kind of screwed themselves by leaving this late, because now the rain is going to come down. I mean, it's not too intense right now, so JM won't be seconds off the pace, but this will definitely impact him. Marcelio even more so. He hasn't even started this out lap, so by the time he gets around, the track will be properly wet, I think. And JM is going unusually slowly here. He has to get going. I mean, I think he's letting people pass, but they're all on in laps. No one here is on the hot lap anymore. They are all done with their qualifying. They're not gonna... I don't think they would even bother to go out again. Because, I mean... there's nothing to gain. The track's gonna be so much slower. With the rain coming down. We'll see if JM can beat anyone really, but it's gonna be a tough ask, I think. It's a very light rain at the moment still. Just give me a quick eye on Beanie and Ewek. Okay, they're both on the way back to the pits. So we can just look at JM. No one else is on a competitive lap, and I don't think anyone else will be at this point. They've all put their first lap in, and it's gonna be neon impossible to improve on that in these conditions. So JM's first sector is a 24.829. Let's compare that. Kucho, 24.2, so he's 6/10 off Kucho in the first sector. So the track definitely significantly slower at this point already, and it's only a very light rain, so it will only get worse from here. We've got Sully back out on track actually after his 109.8. His lap did look very, very scrappy, but I think trying to improve on it is going to be near impossible. Bazooka is retired, he is done, retiring in the pits there. And I can see why. I mean, it's not like he's going to be able to improve anymore. Edwin is retired as well. Got a couple of cars leaving the pits. Kevin as well. And then Alfa Romeo. JM over the line, a 1:10.877. He stays 14th. 1.5 tenths off Flavors there. Flavors, Sully and Kevin all out on track. So they're gonna try again, it seems. What I'm interested in, did they put a new tire on? They did. So they are definitely trying from that. They aren't just like going around for practice sake or whatever. They are actually trying to put in a new competitive lap time. We'll see if it works. That's going to be a tough thing to do. Sully's the first of them, so we'll have the fastest track, as the track of course continues to get wetter right now. And a massive slide out of turn 1 already. Not ideal. Okay, so the forecast for the race is 20% the entire way around. So that shouldn't. I don't think that would be rain. 20% usually means it's dry. Interesting. Oh, okay. Right now it's 23. Oh, as Sully takes all the braking boards. If I were to be racing right now, I'd be very annoyed with that one. Flavors, I think, to start in this lap. But I think that's already well down the drain. Yeah. So I think we've just had it confirmed there will not be any more improvements. Kevin was back in the pit as well. He didn't. I don't think he actually started the lap. Sully is just rolling as well. Flavors is actually still pushing somewhat, but 3 seconds down on his previous best. Qualifying is done, I think I can confidently say. Kucho on pole, 109.226. Sean in second, 109.313. Mihai in third, 109.423. Not a name you see up there usually. Kevin in fourth, 109.431. Pinky in fifth, 109.505. Gabri in sixth, 109.524. Bazooka in seventh, 109.689. Then Sully in eighth, 109.834. Ewek in ninth, 110.116. Owise in 10th, 110.177. Then Beanie, the first car outside the top 10, 110.196. Lucas in 12th, 110.274. A 5-tenth gap after that to Flavors, a 110.737. And then JM, a 110.877 in 14th with Edwin and Marco serving qualifying in 15th and 17th. Marcelio has not put in the lap, he is in 16th. So I suppose the only thing that can really still change is if Marcelio just goes around one time, puts in any lap time, he'll be 15th. That is everything that can. We only have 4 drivers left in qualifying. Once they retire, we can move on to the race. Alternatively, we are going to sit here for 9 minutes and just wait. Oh, Marcelio. Ah, okay, he's not here right now. Great. So we're gonna have to wait until he gets back to his rig. Right. So we've got about a couple of minutes to just talk about the to just get the map for the race. Strategy-wise, I would expect. I mean, the interesting thing now with that 20% forecast, like that could be just the thing. Oh, almost just that could end up being the exact same thing we have right now, where it's just kind of drizzling. Is that a word? Is that a word? I'm not sure. But like a very light rain, where you don't even have to pit for inters. And that could definitely affect strategy, because if in those sort of conditions you're going to want to be on a softer compound of tire if possible. And definitely don't want to be on worn tires either, so if it ends up like this, I think two stops might be viable, just to the hunch. I mean, I've never had a full racing condition like this, so I don't know if really... It's not like I can base it off anything, but it's just an idea that would come to my head as a driver, and I would maybe... yeah, check out the pre-race strategy screen. I'm not sure if you can see that in that accurately in there, but yeah, I mean, in general, I think the best strategy for this track is the hard medium. A medium soft is viable and possible. You do lose a lot of time towards the end of your stint as you go above 60% in both stints if you do a medium soft, so you are going to hit that drop off. So while it can work, I think, yeah, you need to be in clean air for a lot of the time, which on the grids with 17 cars is going to be tough. Yeah, we can also have a quick look at the Drivers' Championship. Currently have Kevin leading that on 106 points, and in second place, 18 points behind him, Sean Moon on 88. Then Kucho in third, 87, Bazooka in fourth, 86. So 88, 87, 86 from P2 to P4 and 106 in P1. That is 20 points separating the top 4 drivers in the standings. And then we also have Gabri in 5th on 75 points. He's only 31 behind Kevin. And JM on 70 points in P6. He is 36 behind Kevin. So I would give Gabri and JM an outsider's chance. And the main ones are Bazooka, Kucho, Sean and Kevin. Alright, what is going on? Is Marcelio back yet? I've run out of topics at this point. Right, the constructor standings. Currently leading that is Ferrari on 182 points. They have a pretty sizable gap to second, 36 points. AlphaTauri in second place, 146, followed by Mercedes, another 20 points behind that on 126. Sorry, AlphaTauri 146, Mercedes 126. There we go. So yeah, really only Ferrari and AlphaTauri, I would say, in proper contention for that championship. Mercedes are sort of in there, being 56 points behind, but there's not that many races to go, so yeah, making up a gap like that is going to be pretty difficult. We've got 4 races left, including today's one. Rest in the calendar being Singapore, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil. So that should be good fun. Oh, finally! Thank you! Marcelio's retired, and yeah, we already went through the results, so I'm not gonna do that again. But pretty close gaps, I have to say. Like, look at Mihai and Kevin. 9.423 to 9.431. Pinky as well not far off that with a 9.505. Gabri not far off that as well, 9.524. So this sort of P3 to P6 area, yeah, just over a tenth, separating Mihai and Gabri, and in between that Kevin and Pinky as well. Apart from that, I mean, generally a pretty close grid, about a second separating the top 12, just over a second. And that's with only 1 lap, so I think most of these guys will be quite far away from their peak in terms of lap time. And yeah, the bankers tend to be further away from each other than the laps that you put in at the end, of course. In this session we only had the bankers. So I think we could be in for another good race. here in Division 2. I mean, has there ever been a Division 2 race that I've genuinely found boring? I can't remember one, so... yeah. But we are now loaded onto the race. Here we are on the grid. And this looks remarkably similar to the start of qualifying. So... yeah, maybe we are going to see some rain, who knows? I wouldn't rule it out with a 20% weather forecast. I could see that being a very, very light rain. I'm interested to see how this race start goes. Mihai in lofty heights, up in 3rd position. How is that gonna go? He's gonna, I mean, surely he's gonna get a nosebleed in that stuff. He's never, has he ever been this far up the front? Yeah, that was Monza. He had great qualifying at Monza as well. And then DNF'd. But here we are, on the grid. It's the 5 red lights. And Kutscher on the right, Sean on the left. It's lights out, and away we go. Kutscher gets away really well there. And Sean struggling as Mihai takes 2nd place here on the outside, is side by side into turn 1 there. Sean trying to fight back on the inside. Mihai on the outside, still alongside, coming out of turn 1, heading now into turn 2. Mihai has the outside line, and he goes off into the gravel, rejoins, and Mihai with an awful start there. He's out of the top 10, and he's made contact with his teammate. Mihai is round. Awful start from Mihai, down to 17th. Meanwhile, Kutscher following, leading at the front, followed by Sean, and then Gabby, Pinky, Kevin, Pinky, sorry. We've got a virtual safety car deployed for Edwin, who has lost his front ring here. So there must have been an incident at the back of the field that involved him. I don't see anyone else with, like, way behind the package. Just Mihai and Edwin, and when we saw the crash that happened to Mihai, he was not having anything to do with Edwin. So, okay, no hards, and a pretty even split of soft and medium, so that's interesting. So maybe these guys are gonna go for a medium soft or a soft medium. Okay, the game, yeah, the game does seem to think soft medium is a good option. And but it also gave a medium hard as an alternative. So that's quite interesting that we've got some so many. I mean, not a single hard runner. Usually the hard is the tire of choice for the race start. We've got an Aston Martin at the pits there. Oh no, it was an Alpine, sorry. Marco. We've got the 5-second penalty for speeding as well, as the race has now been restarted. We've got Owais and Beanie battling for 9th position here with Flavors just creeping in right behind them. Beanie on the outside line, Owais sending it in there as they go through the banking, and Flavors with a beautiful move, pulls alongside now 3 wide, bumping, playing ping pong with each other there, and oh, it's ended in a nightmare. You could see that coming with how often they bumped each other on that straight. Eventually, the ping pong was going to be too intense and the cars would lose control. As Pinky makes a move on Kevin for 3rd position. And Kevin now is content with his teammate as well. I think Kevin put a tire into the grass there, which allowed Gabi to really close in. Kevin on those soft tires is definitely going to want to stay ahead of his teammate here. He should be in a faster car right now, at least he has a faster tire. Oh, Lucas with a terrible exit, and Bazooka takes full advantage now alongside, heading into the final corner here, but gets squeezed onto the grass a bit there. And maybe Sully can take advantage of that with a better exit coming out of the banking. Sully closing in against Bazooka, takes the outside line, has Lucas ahead of him, so has to brake early, and that costs him, but Bazooka goes into the back of Lucas. Kills his exit with that. Sully is back alongside, and they're locking wheels. Bazooka into the grass, and Sully ahead, and JM slips through as well. Maybe he's up the inside now. He's almost made contact, JM with a bit of a slide, and that allows Beanie and Ewek to get past him. As JM, I think, got caught on Bazooka's rear tire there. And his car sent into a bit of a mode reverse there. Flavors in the pits for a wing change after his incident with, was it Owais and Beanie, I think? If I remember correctly. Kutscher still leading at the front, followed by Sean. They're doing well to hang on against those soft runners. Pinky is not too close to Sean right now. It is definitely not in attacking range. But Sean is definitely in attacking range to Kutscher, especially considering Kutscher does not have DRS, unlike the rest of this train. Yeah, this train being the top 5, as Lucas has dropped away by about 1.8 seconds now. So Gabri, Kevin, Pinky, Sean and Kutscher breaking away from the field. 2 AlphaTauris, 2 Ferraris and the Williams of Sean. So Sean having to, yeah, basically 1 versus 2 these guys. But he does take the lead into turn 1 with DRS enabled as Sully makes a move on Lucas. Also the DRS advantage, although Lucas does go all the way around the outside. A lovely defense by Lucas. Oh, but yeah, that is off. He's dipped the tire into grass, had a terrible terrible entry grip into turn 3 from that. Ended up in the gravel, and he's dropped down to 10th, and he's now also got JM sniffing at the rear of his car. But JM has not found a way around him just yet. He definitely seems faster. Look at the overspeed he had coming out of turn 7. But turn 8, not a place you want to try and make a move at. It's a fast corner with only 1 real line. Very difficult to give space to anyone there. So a smart choice, I think, from JM to back out. Just to, yeah, self-preservation reasons mainly. I mean, even if you are in the right in terms of regulations, your car is still in the barriers and you're still out the race, so that's not gonna help you. Okay, we can put our cameras back north to front as Pinky is closing in on his teammate here. The softs doing good work for him, I think. The gap closing up between the 2 AlphaTauris. 2 Ferraris as well. Chasing in behind them. Gabri does seem to be a bit faster right now. He's very, very close to the back of Kevin. A lot closer to Kevin than Kevin is to the AlphaTauris. Meanwhile, the chasing pack led by Sully, and then Bazooka, Beanie barely hanging to DRS there as always. Makes a move on Mihai and back up into 13th there. Of course, those two both with early incidents and now trying to make a bit of a comeback. A 5-second gap to the next car. Mihai with a beautiful switchback. Gets back alongside Owais and now side by side heading down towards turn 8. Or turn 7, I should say. Sorry, I keep messing up the corner numbers here, but this right here is turn 7. Owais dips the tire into the grass. Allows Mihai to build a bit of a gap now in this battle for 13th. Owais locking the rears into turn 9. He has caught it, but it's allowed Mihai to get out of the DRS. A very nice catch, then I'll say, from Owais. Good reactions. And I'm sure he's now going to adjust the brake bias to make sure it doesn't happen again. Kucho in the DRS of Sean. Can he make a move to turn 1? He's closing in, but he's gonna, yeah, go off the thought. He doesn't want to make that move. JM moves past Lucas for 10th. Lucas has settled for P11 for now, outside the points. After a pretty good start. I think he was running in as high as 5th at one point. He's now into 11th. After that little mistake he had right here at turn 2 and 3. Kevin is now very much close to the back of Pinky. I talked about him being further away from the AlphaTauris than Gabri was to him. That's definitely changed now, as Pinky is, yeah, being hounded by Kevin for this 3rd position. Both on the same compound of tire, both on the softs at the moment. So I'm sure Kevin is gonna want to make that move happen. There shouldn't be any sort of tire advantage between those two. We're 5 laps into the race now. I think the mediums might be starting to come into their own a bit. The soft wing is starting to show a bit of wear right now. Just based on the fact that Pinky has dropped back from Kucho. Now also saying Ewek, Lucas and Mihai have been struggling a bit. Especially Ewek, I think, running a 9th there. Lucas dropped out of the SJM as well. So yeah, I think those... well, I said Ewek has been struggling, but has he really been? I'm not sure. He stayed where he started. Okay, yeah, fair enough. But there's been a couple of incidents that should have maybe put him up a few places. So yeah, JM is definitely all over him right now. Only 7 laps in mono softs. Yeah, on a medium soft you do about 16 laps on softs and 21 laps, 15, 21, 16, 20, something like that. For a medium soft. So we are not even halfway through the soft stint, and I feel like there is some wear happening already. So that's not ideal for those guys, especially if they haven't made those moves happen yet, as Marcelio has gotten past Lucas, who had a spin. Lucas with the spin at turn 9, and he's dropped down to 12th. Otherwise, still in the back of Mihai here, as they're both chasing after Lucas in the moment. The battle for 13th. Owais in a bit of a lock-up. I think he's outbraked himself, heading to turn 11 there. As Gabi makes a move on his teammate Kevin. Moves up into 4th, and Kevin, I think, let him go there a bit. He was lifting down the straight. so he also seems to agree that the softs are no longer the faster tire and doesn't have any issue with his teammate leading the charge against the AlphaTauris now. Pinky barely hanging on the DRS of Kucho, he's about 8 tenths behind. And I'm sure that Pinky is going to want his teammate to just give him that DRS so that he can hold off the Ferraris. This would be quite crucial for the AlphaTauri if they could beat them today, in both the driver standings and the constructors. AlphaTauri, of course, fighting Ferrari for the constructors, and Kucho fighting Kevin and Gabri somewhat as well for the driver standings. So this would be really, really crucial, but Gabri is all over Pinky now. So we head down into the final sector. Only a couple more corners to go. I think the main straight is going to be the place to overtake for Gabri. He doesn't have a lot of ERS. Pinky has a little bit more, but not too much either. We'll see. Can Gabri get a good enough exit? Coming out of the banking now. Dips the tire into the curb there. And that's, I think, bottomed out a bit. Cost a bit of exit speed. But now he's burned some overtake. But it's not going to be enough. Pinky has him covered for now. At least another lap. Gabri's stuck behind as JM makes a move on Beanie for 8th. And tucks in behind Bazooka as well, now to defend that position. Beanie outbrakes himself, loses the rear, but thankfully he's caught in again. With a bit of a rear lockup at turn 1 there as well. You saw similar from Owise, so yes, definitely some brake bias adjustments needed, I think, all around the field. Kucho is pretty close in behind Sean right now. And they're both conserving ERS, they're both about 60%, and they have dropped Pinky out of the ERS range now. So that's, well, in a way, good news for Gabri, as it will make the move easier, but it's also bad news because he's lost the DRS to Kucho and Sean as well. Pinky's back in actually now. I think he might have burned a bit. Yeah, he has definitely burned a bit to get back into the 1 second range. So Gabri is still gonna have a tough time to get around him. And I'm sure Pinky's not gonna let him go either. I mean, he's the one to hang on to that 3rd place. Pinky has got DRS at least one more lap now. And Gabri is surely too far behind to make a move happen. At the front, Kucho doesn't want to make the move happen. He probably could if he wanted to. JM definitely wants to make a move happen. Look at the overspeed coming out the banking. And the same goes for Iway and Beanie. They both must have been having the ERS enabled all out the all throughout the banking. And they came out with a massive slingshot. JM up into 7th, overtaking Bazooka. Iway up into 9th, overtaking Beanie. Owise also overtook Mihai as that was going on. So he's now up into 13th and has Lucas up ahead of him. 1.7 seconds gap between those two. Pinky has now firmly lost out on DRS to Kucho and Sean. And Gabri is going to need to make that move happen. And ideally, Kevin and Gabri can overtake Pinky at once. But Gabri is dropped way back now, and it's going to definitely hurt the chances, Ferrari's chances of doing that. And I'm sure Kevin is going to be a bit frustrated with his teammate here. But he hasn't made that move happen yet. He let him through somewhat. And Gabri hasn't taken advantage of that so far. But I think now might be the time. No DRS for Pinky. Is Gabri close enough? Meanwhile, Kucho is going to reclaim the lead from Sean here. Kucho makes a move happen on the DRS straight. Gabri is going to send it up the inside of Pinky, but Pinky is fully ahead there. And Gabri cannot make the move happen. Once again, Pinky, for another lap, has held on against Gabri, and there's no real overtaking opportunity anywhere else on this track. You can maybe, if you have a massive pace advantage, get a slingshot out of turn 3 and overtake someone heading into turn 7, but you need a much bigger pace advantage than what we have right now. You'd need, you'd need basically, for you to have pitted and like you just came out behind the other guy. Something like that. Like this, we'll have both on 10 lap old tires, even if it's mediums against softs, that's not gonna be enough. Suri is closing in, that gap is definitely coming down, 1.8 seconds now. And he's got JM right behind him, so the two Mercedes flying in formation to join this little battle for the podium. 2.3 the gap now between Pinky and Sean, so Pinky has firmly lost contact to Kucho and Sean. Those two in their own world at the front now. And now Gabri should finally be able to make a move happen on Pinky, yes. And no chance of Pinky to defend that. Gabri just flies past with the as Pinky has settled for 3rd now. And next car behind him is going to be Kevin. And I'm sure Kevin is also going to want to get that move. yeah, on soon, although as JM gets past Sully here, I think Sully let him pass. At least that's what it seemed like. It's a very unusual spot for an overtake. And quite surprised they did there. Oh! Bringing in with the crash at turn 3 there. I'm not sure what happened. He is backwards in the wall. And it's a full course safety car. How has he crashed like that then? Well, full course safety car, and I would say great timing for the soft runners. Lap 12. I mean, oh well, I mean, I'm pretty confident we're going to be seeing everyone onto the hard tire now to go to the end. And everyone can go to the hards. No one has started on them, so yeah, but good timing I think for everyone. 24 laps on mediums is a bit of a stretch, so I do think the hard tire is a tire to go on to. We'll see, maybe someone goes for a gamble, maybe someone goes for a 2-stop from here. It is a pretty short pit lane, so it's not impossible to make work, it's just the traffic's going to be quite a big issue, especially since overtaking is not particularly easy. Kevin and Pinky are both going to end up double stacking here, and the same goes for Sully. I think Pinky is slowing down a bit to allow a gap to Kucho. Kevin has not done the same, so he's definitely going to double stack behind Gabri, and he will likely drop behind JM. Here we go. Hards for Kucho, and that's hards for Sean as well. Pinky has to double stack behind Kucho somewhat. Gabri comes on third and hard. Pinky on the hard. JM is going to jump. No, he's going to jump Pinky, just about. Marcelo gets a speeding penalty. Kevin has dropped to 6 in the double stack. Just out of Bazooka. And then Sully was dropped behind Bazooka as well with the double stack behind JM. Eway coming out in 9th. Marcelio in 11th. Lucas is gambled on the mediums, so he's going to try to make a either a long stint or a 2-stop work. Always coming out in 12th. Mihai in 13th. And then we've got Marco, Edwin, and Edwin onto the softs, he's definitely 2-stopping. There's no way those softs last. Marco in 14th, Edwin in 15th, and Flavors will end up in 16th here. Everyone onto fresh hard, the only exceptions, Edwin onto fresh softs, Lucas onto fresh mediums. And does he have wing damage? Looked like it. Yeah! The frontman end plate is missing, why would you not fix it on the safety car? I think Lucas might have forgot to set his front wing, or his repair damage setting to yes, and left it at automatic instead. And that is probably gonna be another pit stop for Lucas and dropping into last place now. I think surely you have to pit to get that wing fixed. It'll be an even bigger time loss if you were to stay out, even if you do get track position for now. It is surely preferable to have a non-damaged car. And he can then also go to the hards, which I think is the better strategy, to go to the end. I'm quite interested to see what Edwin is going to do here. If Edwin, I mean, we've got 23 laps to go. It could be a soft from here for Edwin, if he has to, yeah, he shouldn't have that many softs left. Lucas now, diving into the pits. Well, takes a few drives as well to gain some time, but I don't think it's going to matter, he will still come on the last. Flavor is not that far back from him. Lucas onto mediums again, and a wing change this time around. And he does drop into last place from that. At the front, still the same situation, Kucho ahead of Sean. So Kucho will be conducting this restart. Unfortunate safety car there for, yeah, pretty much everyone had a double stack. Pinky lost the place, Kevin lost the place, and Sully lost the place. All three of them lost one position. And with a grid as close as this, losing that one position can be pretty crucial. Especially on a track like Zandvoort, where overtaking opportunities are quite hard to come by. The straights are very short, the braking zones aren't long. So, yeah, it's hard to make those moves happen. The ERS recovery also is not great. Once you burn that ERS, it's very hard to recover much, if any, really. So, I actually think, even if you don't touch the overtake button, your ERS goes down. That's how bad it is around Zandvoort. At least if you're running the sort of meta setups that I would be running. I'm not sure if these guys might be running some lower wings, which does help with ERS recovery a bit. But, I mean, Zandvoort is... It's not like it's not like running high wings is weird around here. I feel like everyone's gonna be running pretty high wings. It's a very technical, very aerodynamic track. Safety car in this lap. So, Kucho. It's not gonna slow down the field, create a gap in the safety car. They can decide when to go. No overtaking until the start-finish line, of course. Safety car is back in the pit lane now. So if Kucho wants to go, he could. He's gonna wait until after the final corner. Can already see the line at this point. He has to go soon. Still hasn't gone. He's leaving it very, very late now. We're on the starting grid already. Now he's finally gone. And that was really, really late. He really was scared about that slipstream effect. Pinky has jumped Gabri on the restart. And they're side by side heading into turn 1 there. Gabri on the inside line for turn 2, which will turn to the outside for turn 3, and Pinky takes full advantage. I think he's... Oh, yeah, he's chopped him off. Yes, Gabri's round, and it's another crash! Marco's out! Mihai in the wall as well there, and Lucas round. Gabri, Lucas, Mihai all round, and Marco out the race, and another safety car. An immediate safety car once again there. And the only thing that I can think of what will happen is that with Gabri being spun round after the contact with Pinky, Lucas, Mihai and Marco got caught up, and there was a bit of a pile-up. Unfortunate for Marco, that is his race over, and Alpine with a bit of a mare there, 16th and 17th, both out of the race, before we even got halfway through it. Mihai with absolutely no front wing on the car, so he's gonna have to pit. Probably onto mediums, they should make it to the end from here. This is sort of the normal area for a pit stop if you're doing a soft medium, so the medium will definitely last. Does anyone else have damage? Maybe Lucas or Gabri? I mean, they were involved in that crash as well. I think, I'm not sure if Flavors was involved. I think it was only the one Alfa Romeo. So, no pit stops at the front. We've got a Williams in, that's Ewek. And an Aston Martin behind him, that is Bazooka. Ewek, Bazooka in. Gabri staying out though. Ewek, Bazooka and Mihai. It's a wing change from Bazooka. A wing change for... No wing change for Ewek. So this is a strategical pit stop. And yeah, of course a wing change for Mihai. And they are all onto medium tires, which will take him to the end from here. Very unfortunate that restart for Gabri. It's take him out of a podium contention, a fight to the podium. He's now down to P11 outside the points. Although if you do include Marcelio's penalty, he will be back in P10. Then you can maybe also include Edwin's pit stop that he's left to make, unless he plans on driving at the driving on punctured tires for about 10 laps. Yeah, so Gabri is effectively running in 9th now after that unfortunate restart, and that's gonna make his outside championship chances even more of an outside chance. It is too early to be mathematically out, but realistically, he needs a miracle now if he wants to stay in it. He needs to be winning races, and yeah, unfortunately that is just not gonna happen like that. I mean, still, we're not even halfway through the race. A lot can still happen, a lot can still change. Safety car is gonna be around for one more lap, I think. Yeah, we should be in end of next lap. Mihai and Bazooka would have caught up. And then once again it will be Kuchen restarting, and this time, I mean, he went very late last time, so is Sean gonna be prepared for that this time around? Or is Kuchen gonna switch it up and go earlier? Sean in a bit of a difficult situation here as well, as there is a sandwich going on here. The AlphaTauri is in 1 and 3, and Sean in 2nd. Same for Kevin as well, he is in 5th in the Ferrari, surrounded by 2 Mercedes ahead of him and behind him with JM and Sully. And then behind that, the same for Marcelio. Marcelio on the Aston Martin 8th, surrounded by Edwin and Owais in 7th and 9th in 2 McLaren cars. Oh, the safety car should definitely be in the end of this lap. Everyone is now caught up, and hopefully will then be under green flags for hopefully the rest of the race. I don't want to see any more incidents. I want to see a clean and a fun race and battle to the end. As we'll have the second half of the race starting at the end of this safety car period, at the end of this lap. And then we can see if Kutscho can hang on to this race win. If Sean can take it away from him. If Pinky can beat his teammate. JM, Kevin, Sully. Maybe an outsider from even further down. Maybe Edwin's two-stop can work out. A lot of interesting possibilities here. Safety car's been called in. Kutscho is slowing down the field. Once again, it is his decision when to go. As he slows down to about 80 kph here, so going very, very slowly as we approach the final corner. So we might be setting up for an early restart. Sean is following closely, keeping a good eye. He's not weaving right now, he's just, well yeah, Kutscho is weaving interestingly, which is kind of unnecessary. You don't need to do that one tire set, you can just use the brake. Kutscho is once again going to go very late here. He's left it all the way until we're back on the grid spots here. The line is coming up now. Kutscho's gone really, really late there. And Pinky with another great restart. This time he hasn't quite got alongside. But the two Ferraris of Kevin... Oh! And another crash with a Ferrari on the restart as Kevin made contact with the McLaren. I think it was Oweiss. I'm not sure if it was Oweiss or Edwin. And he's round and down to P14. Our championship leader running in 14th and his teammate in 10th. A nightmare for Ferrari right now. So they're gonna need a big recovery drive from both of their drivers tonight to get a bit more out of this race. Edwin, of course, staring at the back of those cars ahead as JM is staring at Pinky. JM seems to be really, really pacey in this race, been making up places left, right and center. But now, of course, against those softs of Edwin, he has no chance. He just lets him go, and Edwin moves up into 4th, and now maybe Edwin can spice things up the front, make those moves happen against Pinky, Sean and Kutscho. And he needs to do that, he needs to get into P1 and then he needs to get away. If he wants this two-stop to work out, he needs to pull away from the field, not have anyone in his DRS and just drive his own race. Meanwhile, Gabri setting up for his comeback. He's gonna try and make a move on Flavors, heading down the main straight. Up the inside he goes. And is also battling behind against Mihai and Lucas. As Lucas has the inside line there, Mihai tries to hang it around the outside. Lucas is pretty far ahead, but Mihai does stay in there and gets given space as well. Now though, Lucas... Oh, contact mate! And Mihai is round! And he's lost his front wing there as he has hit the barriers in turn 3. As Flavors and Arsenio battle over 9th. Up ahead there, ending into turn 7, Arsenio with the inside line. Gets ahead, Flavors has to settle in behind into 10th. Gabri as well got past Arsenio really quickly, he's up into 8th now. And the next car up ahead of him is the Aston Martin of... the McLaren of Oweiss. Not the Aston Martin of Arsenio, I was going to say. Edwin now, of course, in the purple sector doesn't make sense. He has the best tires of anyone by far. We saw those soft drop off quite quickly against the mediums in the first stint. When will the crossover be between softs and hards? So far, Edwin has not been able to make a move on Pinky work. And Pinky is trying to make sure it stays that way. He's just, defending against the cars in behind. And he's, I mean... If you're Sean and Kutscho, you must be very happy with what Pinky's doing. He's just kind of... He's too slow to attack them, but he's fast enough to keep everyone else behind, so that they don't get attacked by anyone else. As Gabi has gotten past Oweiss, now Mihai speeding in the pit lane, and he now retires from the race. Very unfortunate, Mihai starting in 3rd, and his race just did not go his way whatsoever. Gabi now is into 7th, 1.8 behind the two Mercedes cars of Sully and JM. He's done well so far. 16 laps to go. How far back up the field can he go? Kevin, meanwhile, he's caught up in back of Bazooka. As Flavors and Lucas up ahead are battling over 10th. Flavors looks up the inside there, but that's never going to work out. Bazooka and Kevin both in title contention and both stuck behind these guys. They're going to want to get around them. Mihai goes very deep there. Oh, sorry, Flavors. Oh, and Bazooka goes... completely deep. He's had a terrible exit, and Kevin, rather interesting thing to tell. I'm not sure what just even how to describe what just happened. Kevin gets a position. He's now burning EAS all the way down the main straight as he wants to get Flavors, wants to get Lucas. Is he gonna get both in one go here? Bazooka's into the pits, and Kevin has gotten both. Flavors is round. There must have been, yeah, I think there was contact there in the braking zone. Flavors in the barriers of turn 1. Kevin up into 10th. Time penalty flares for multiple warnings, that's very harsh. I mean, he was spun into a barrier and he's got a warning for that. Edwin now, still on the back of Pinky, close in behind, but not quite close enough as Pinky has the DRS, which equals out the straight advantage that Edwin would have in the DRS he has on Pinky. So this DRS strain making it rather difficult for Edwin to make those moves happen, but he is keeping JM at a massive distance there. If he can just get that over a second, that would be very important for him, so he can start building that gap and making this two-stop work, because right now, I mean, the softs are already 8 laps old. They're not even going to be that much faster than the Haas at this point, and he's not been able to make moves happen after he got past JM. Pinky is still hanging on to that 3rd place. Sully and JM looking rather racy as well, as they are closing in against Edwin, and JM might be trying to take that pace back sooner rather than later, so that he himself can have a go at that podium spot. Pinky a bit of a blockade, it seems. Like I said earlier, he's doing a great job there to pretty much just keep everyone off Sean and Kutsho's back. I'm not sure if that's intentional. I mean, if it is, I'm sure the only like car he would care about is Kutsho. He's just not able to make a move on Sean work. I don't think Pinky would be driving slowly on purpose, because the best thing he can do is stay in DRS range to actually defend. And he's lost out of DRS, but he's definitely pushing to stay in there. He's burning ERS to get back within the second. So Pinky is indeed just at exactly this sort of pace, where he's able to hang on to the DRS of Sean and Kutsho to defend, but not able to make a move on them. As Sully has gotten past JM, JM must have made a mistake there, coming out of turn 12, heading into the final part of the lap. We've got Sean having a look up the inside of Kutsho, but that's just never gonna work. He was too late. Sully thought about a move on Edwin, but could not get sufficiently alongside, heading to turn 1. Edwin now losing DRS, maybe, to Pinky, as those softs are starting to drop off massively, I think. 10 laps of them done, 13 laps left in this race. He is definitely going to have to pit again. But I mean, when he goes onto those new softs, he's going to be flying, but is it going to be enough to make him a full pit stop worth of time? I don't think so. He wouldn't have had to get away in this first stint, already started building a gap. So the gap that he has to make back up after his pit stop is a lot smaller. But I commend Edwin for trying something different. Right now he's in 4th. I mean, a safety car would be great for him, since it will mean that everyone will have to pit as well, or stay out and have terrible tires, so which would be an even worse choice. But he is not going to lose to Sully here, I think. He's dropped out of the DRS to Pinky, and that will make it very easy. As Sully will have the DRS runner and JM. I think both Mercedes are going to try and get him here as once. And there goes Sully, and here comes JM as well, as Sean Moole takes the lead against Kutsho, up ahead. JM slows down as to not make a move on Sully, doesn't want to battle his teammate. He just wants to make sure that he follows through, so that they stay together. The two Mercedes flying in formation as they make their way through the field. They've been doing this all race. Sully and JM. Especially JM with the, I think he qualified, I mean they both qualified towards the back, I think. Let's check. Position change? Yeah, Sully up 4, JM up 9. They have been making their way through the field. JM, from coming from even further back, caught up to Sully, and since then they have just been paving their way through. And the next target will be the AlphaTauris of Pinky and Kutsho, and then maybe even Sean. If they can get back into DRS, if they have the pace to do that. Sully, I think, is burning some overtake to make it happen. And it might be a good idea for JM to basically slingshot past, heading into the next DRS straight. And I think that might be what they're doing, because Sully is not too far ahead of JM, and he's not too far behind of DRS range. So if JM can basically fly past Sully on this straight, that might be enough to get JM into DRS range and reconnect the trains. We'll see. Yes, it's happening. JM uses his battery, Sully lets him go. Great teamwork by the two Mercedes cars. Edwin in the pits now, and I'm guessing for another set of softs. Yes, softs for Edwin again. 1.2 behind is now JM. He's gonna have to burn a little bit of battery down this lap, I think, but he might just be close enough to make it work and get back into DRS at the next DRS straight after turn 10. Edwin is going to come out in 11th as Flavors. Just going through turn 1 right here, and I think Edwin is indeed ahead. 11th position, and that's a 9-second gap to Lucas. That's going to be tough to overcome. I mean, I think he'll definitely get back into the points. He has 11 laps to catch 9 seconds, that's definitely doable. But then how much more after that is still possible? Tough to say. JM has gotten into DRS of Pinky. So we've got a 5-way fight for these front positions. Gabri, yeah, he's keeping the gap pretty consistent. So I think Gabri has the pace for sure to be up there. I mean, he showed in the first stint, he was right up there as well, involved in the fight for the podium. But once you lose that DRS, it's so difficult to get it back because you're just losing time every single straight. Like, start the straight, 2.4. Let's keep an eye on that gap to Sully as it goes up over the straight. 2.5, 2.6 even at the end of the straight. Yeah, 2 points. He's lost about 2/10 on that straight. As Pinky has lost DRS to his teammate Kucho again. That's going to make him rather vulnerable to the Mercedes cars. Are they going to end up doing the same maneuver they did on Edwin, where they fly past him together? And but then the thing is, they are going to have to try to catch back up to Kucho and Sean if they want even more from this race. But Kucho and Sean have been in 1-2 position all race. They've done a great job there. Sully is trying to hang on to the DRS there. He's now caught right back up, as I said that. JM is definitely too far behind to make a move here, and it wouldn't be too smart to make a move here anyway, as the longer DRS is coming right up. But he's just going to close in, use this DRS straight to close in, and then make the move coming off the banking onto the main straight. The question for me is Sully close enough? JM should definitely get Pinky here, but Sully in 5th is a bit further back. It's going to be more difficult for him to make it happen. Here we go. Pinky doesn't have a lot of ERS to defend, so this will be very easy for JM as he goes to the inside. Sully is not going to follow through as Kucho reclaims the lead against Sean as well. Kucho into the lead, JM into 3rd. Sully still stuck behind Pinky, so the two Mercedes have been separated from each other here. And Pinky has now got the tough task of defending this 4th position. Edwin puts in the fast the race. He's already brought the gap down to only 3 seconds to Lucas. So those fresh shots really, yeah, showing their pace right now. Let's just quickly compare. Let's just take Kucho's lap time from the last lap. It's a 1:12.7, and compared to Edwin, it was a 1:10.9. So about 1.8 seconds there gained on that lap. He's not going to be in the fight for the win, he's too far back from that, but I think something like a... he's definitely going to get Lucas, and then I think he can get Kevin and Marcelio, and yeah, he should be able to get... I think P7 could still be possible for Edwin in this race if he gets through all of those cars quickly enough. And depends as well on how much the softs drop off. They shouldn't drop off too much, at least not compared to the... I mean, the hards will be quite old as well. They will have done... what's that, 23 laps at the end, which is quite a lot as well. So those softs shouldn't lose too much pace compared to them. Definitely won't be getting 2 seconds a lap anymore as we approach the end of the race, but it will definitely still be an advantage in his favor. He has now caught up to Lucas. Not the greatest spot. He has caught him at the end of this DRS straight, so he now has to either make a move happen in the middle sector or wait for an entire lap. And that lap will be crucial. He needs to get past him soon, and look at... oh my god. Yeah, okay. That was so easy. Lucas has no chance to defend that. Those old mediums, no answer for those fresh softs. Edwin just switchbacks him coming out of turn 3, accelerates away. And now he can start chasing after Kevin, Marcelio and Owais here in this little train for 7th, 8th and 9th. Sean has a lot of ERS. Kucho about 50, Sean about 80, JM about 20. Pinky about 15, Sully about 30. So Sean has by far the most ERS in this train. ERS, sorry. Meanwhile, Sully and Pinky battling. Sully is burning ERS, he wants to get Pinky here, but he's too far behind. That's not gonna work. Pinky leaves him to space, but he didn't need to, and Sully couldn't get alongside anyway. I think Pinky also a bit of self-preservation tactics there, just making sure that Sully doesn't go into his side and spin him around. Like I said earlier, even if you are on the right in terms of the regulations, it is always smarter to avoid the crash to still be within a fighting chance. Ewek has gotten past Flavors for 12 here. But they are about 8 seconds back from Lucas and 3 seconds back from Edmonds, and the points are out of reach, I would say, with only 7 laps to go in this race. Sully is all over Pinky here. A slight ERS advantage, but not too big. So Sully is gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way, I think, without any sort of battery deployment. At least not a lot. That's gonna make it rather tough. What would be very helpful for him is if his teammates can manage to get Pinky out of the DRS range, otherwise it'll be very difficult for Sully to make that move on Pinky work. Sean and Kucho swapping places again. We've got a yellow flag for Flavors, it seems. At least I think it was Flavors, I'm not sure. In the middle sector. But yeah, Sean back into the lead. Kucho drops down a second. I think both of these guys are now just gonna wait with their ERS until we get closer to the end. It doesn't really make much sense to battle right now. I do think being ahead is, like, this is one of the few tracks where you actually want to go into the last lap in P1. So I think right now it's advantage Sean. He has the track position and he has the ERS, because the DRS zone is a bit shorter than, for example, Monza, Belgium, Silverstone, Austria, all of those sort of tracks. So it's going to be more difficult to make the move happen. So you don't really, like, it's more possible to defend. You need a shorter gap. For example, at Silverstone, if you go onto the last DRS straight in P1, you need like a 6/10 gap to be safe. And I think around here it can be closer to 4, which is a lot more manageable. Pinky has just about hang on to DRS off JM there. But Sully, with the slipstream, might get him anyway. Yes, he has the outside line, he's alongside into turn 1. Is Sully going to be able to go all the way around the outside of Pinky here? And yes, he is! Oh no, they're round! They've made contact! And it's Pinky out the race, Sully in the barriers, and a virtual safety car. As they made contact at the exit of turn 1, Pinky's out, Sully is round. Sully does not seem to have any damage? Somehow. Gabby back up the 4th. Drive-through penalty for Allwise for speeding under VSC. That is very unfortunate. Well, Pinky, running in 3rd for so long in that race, just defending his position, dropped on the 4th against JM, and then race over. It can happen so quickly as he's in the barriers. Just a virtual safety car, no full safety car surprisingly. I thought we could have had another full safety car. I think it would have been very interesting to see one more. I mean, I know I said earlier, let's get green flags in the end, but I would have preferred a full safety car to bring everyone back together onto fresh softs and just have them going for it for the last couple of laps. But this also allows JM to recharge with ERS, so he might then become a bit more of a factor against Sean and Kucho. Yeah, look at the ERS on him. Yeah, look at the ERS. He has more than Kucho now. He's done a great job of recharging ERS under this VSC. Gabby and Sully might end up in a fight here. Sully, I think, yeah, Sully was way behind Gabby, but because he was stopped for the VSC restart, his delta is going to be a lot more lenient. So yeah, he basically could overtake Gabby if it was allowed in terms of the yellow flag regulations, but he can't because of those. Like, his delta is going to be plus a few seconds, while Gabby is, of course, as close to the delta as possible. Kevin and Marcello battling over 7th. Kevin gets ahead. This also is great for Edwin, I think. Edwin, he's lost a bit of time in terms of getting back to these guys, but he has now recharged ERS, which will make the moves a lot easier. And you can see Marcello and Kevin ahead of him. Allwise isn't too far away either. P7 or P6 now with Pinky CNF, sorry, is very much within reach. Lucas is out. Lucas in the crash at turn 2. And once again, no safety car this time, not even the VSC. And there's no one near where he crashed. We can't see what happened, unfortunately. We can't see where his car is stopped. Keep an eye on the front here. Sean is burning some ERS. He does actually want to hang on to that P1 on track. Sully now closing in on Gabri for 4th here. Overtake enabled. Gabri defends the inside. Or opens up the racing line. I'm not sure how you want to see it. Either way, and always in the pits. always in the pit so close to the end of the race. That's rather interesting. There was only 3 laps to go, and I don't see any damage. What? Oh, the drive-through penalty. I'm an idiot. Of course, he had the drive-through penalty that he's now serving. So that's gonna drop him to P9 there. Edge of the top 10. That's still gonna be 2 points. At the front, Kutsho still chasing after Sean. And this will be crucial for the championship. Sean, Kutsho and JM with very, very important 15, 18 and 25 points right now. And then Kevin, currently only in 6th. Edwin coming in from behind them, might even drop him down to 7th. Bazooka in 11th. Yeah, that's really not gonna help his title chances. A very likely no points finish today for Bazooka. Unless someone else ahead of him crashes out. I think the 6-second gap to Ewek is simply too large to overcome. With only a handful of laps to go. Well, not even a handful of laps. As Gabri and Sully fight into turn 1. Gabri reclaims 4th position. Edwin closing in on Kevin there. On lap 34 out of 36. Doesn't have too many more chances to make that move happen. He sees Kevin flashing. He knows Kevin is low on ERS. The red light at the back of that Ferrari, you can see it flashing. That means that he's below 10% ERS and he will have a less effective ERS deployment. He will be deploying less ERS. That's how it works. And the straight line speed will be worse. And that will make it, or should make it rather easy for Edwin. 21 lap mode hards against 9 lap mode softs. No ERS against ERS. DRS as well enabled for Edwin, of course. It is all in his favor right now as we go into the last 2 laps of this race. And Kevin, yeah, another. The last 3 races have been P6s, and now I think we're looking at a P7 here. His title, I mean, he's still leading the championship after today as well, I think. As Kutsho has reclaimed the lead against Sean. I am very sorry, I should not have missed that. I should be keeping an eye on that a lot more than I am. Edwin makes the pass on Kevin up into 6th, and I don't think Kevin is going to have the pace to stay with him on these old hards. That should be Edwin up into 6th rather safely. Sully and Gabri still fighting over 4th, and then yeah, JM is looking at the back of these guys, but he only has 1 more chance. Sean does not seem too fast. Ewek in the pits! Why would you pit? You've just thrown away points! What is Ewek doing? Well, that's 1 point for Bazooka and 0 points for Ewek, because he's not gonna get a fast lap in, I think. Oh, he might. Okay, he will get fast lap at the last lap, I think. He has 1 chance. Never mind. But here we go. The last full DRS straight. Full main straight, I should say. Sean about 4.5 behind Kutsho. Low on ERS. Kutsho defending the inside. Also low on ERS. Is Sean close enough? I don't think he is. I think Kutsho's got this in the back. Sean having a look around the outside. Kutsho goes a bit deep, but Sean can't quite get under him and get switchback done. That is Kutsho now. Yeah, the main chance for Sean gone. And Kutsho in a very good position to win this race. There is still 1 more, 2 more DRS straights. There is the run down to turn 11 and then a run down to the line. Those are Sean's last chances. JM, of course, staring at the back of these guys. If Sean tries any stupid moves, JM is right there to pick up the pieces. And all 3 of these guys below 10% ERS, nothing left in the tank. They have used everything in this fight for these podium positions. Right now, it looks like Kutsho should be able to win this race. Let's see. Sean is not going to go for it here, but can Sean get him on the run to the line? That is a pretty long run. The line is pretty late on the straight. You have a lot of DRS to play with. Oh, no, that's it. Sean with a moment of oversteer, and that is a massive gap now to Kutsho, and Kutsho is safe. Maybe JM can even get at Sean here. Although I don't think he will. No, he won't. Kutsho with another win. 2 wins in a row. He wins in Mexico and now he's won in Netherlands. Sean in 2nd place and JM in 3rd. Gabri is going to come home in 4th. It's close. Sully is closing in on him. But Gabri just about holds on to 4th position. Sully in 5th. Edwin is going to end up in 6th in the end. Kevin in 7th place. 6 points for him. At least a couple of points, but I'm sure he would have been hoping for more. He had that incident with Pinky, I think. Was it Pinky? Yeah. I can't remember. Marcello in 8th for the 5-second penalty, which will not drop him anywhere. Owais coming home in 9th position after the drive-through penalty. And Bazooka picking up only 1 point. His title challenge also unraveling before our very eyes. Ewerk, can he get the fastest lap? From Edwin, 10.992 to beat. That's a 10.525, yes. Ewerk puts in the fastest lap and gets the extra point. Flavors coming home in 12th. Does finish the race, but no points for Flavors. And there we have it. That was the Dutch Grand Prix. I think another very, very good race. Edwin gets the Driver of the Day award. I would give it to JM personally. I think he did a very, very good job of making his way back to the field after the mistake in qualifying. Well, the same mistake. He just went out late, and it was already raining by the time he did his lap, so he qualified right in the back, even though he had way more pace. But Kucho is your race winner, and a well-deserved race winner. Fighting with Sean all race long, those two were in complete control. The only time it seemed like anyone was even close to challenging them was when JM finally had made his way through the entire field, but it was too little too late for the race win for JM. So Kucho and Sean all raced there in 1-2, just swapping between each other. In the end, it is Kucho who comes out on top. Sean takes home a very, very respectable P2 as well. Both of them a very good drive, a very calm drive as well. I think I didn't see them actually battle the turn 1 once. I think every single time they made the move happen on the straight where it's safe, where you can simply have a DRS flyby. Of course, that's a bit boring for us as viewers, but for the driver, that's exactly what you want. A very nice and boring DRS flyby, no risk involved, no time loss, simply, a free position pretty much. So yeah. And that is a big, big swing in title fight. Kevin only 6 points. They went into this race with a gap of 18 points over Sean. That's now down by 12 points to only 6 points, and a gap of 19 points to Kucho, which is now down by 19 points. So Kucho and Kevin are now tied at the top of the standings. And we are in for a very, very close title fight between Kucho, Sean, and Kevin, with outside chance now for Bazooka. And JM Gabby with another mediocre race, P4, 12 points. He's still kind of in there, but it's going to be tough for him. But Bazooka does seem to have dropped out of that main top 4 that we talked about at the start of the stream. So yeah, the main 3 drivers to keep an eye on now are Kucho, Sean, and Kevin. I am very, very excited for the end of this Division 2 season, and I hope you are as well. I think you are. Surely you are as well. It has been a great, great title fight. And a few more chapters left. We'll be back with our next stream on Saturday for Division 1 at Singapore. Of course, the title fight going on there as well. So we currently have Kart Racer on 162 points, and then myself on 158, fighting for the title in the drivers, and then also Ferrari on 210, Mercedes on 193, fighting for the constructors. As always, Division 1, 7:30 PM UK time, same as every other division. After that, we're back on Tuesday for the final race in the realistic division. Drivers' Championship decided, Constructors' Championship not decided yet. There's a fight going on between the Ferraris and the Alpines. And in 7 days, we see you again for Division 2 at the Singapore Grand Prix as well. And hope you enjoyed today's stream. Hope you have a nice evening. Goodbye, everyone.